right, time for some trig. All right, we're going to do a little exploring. I don't want to give away the entire solution, but I want to help you to see how to think about this, and I can show you how I thought about it to help our brains to go in the right direction, okay? We need to know the unit circle. That helps. So unit circle understanding is fundamental to knowing trig. So as I talk about things and you don't know what I'm talking about, you may want to pause and say, I need to learn the unit circle. And I can talk about that with you as well. But here, it says suppose that theta is an angle in standard position. Let's draw an XY graph. Okay, we got some angle, standard position. Standard position means at the x-axis, starting there, going opposite direction. That's the unit circle. It says cosecant theta is negative 15 over 9, and cosine of theta is greater than 0. Let's just focus on that. Whenever they tell you cosecant, that is a cofunction to sine. I like to think in terms of sine because most calculators don't have cosecant functions in them. So either one's okay, but in this case, I can just think sine. Same idea. So I'm going to write down sine of theta. And since it's just the cofunction, literally just flip the fraction. So sine of theta is equal to negative 9 over 15. So sine of theta is negative. They told me that cosine is positive. Remember, in the unit circle, your ordered pairs are always cosine theta, comma, sine theta, always. And in the first quadrant, it's going to be positive, positive. Those are the ordered pairs in the first quadrant. In the second quadrant, it's just going to be negative, positive. It just follows like a regular ordered pair. In the third quadrant, when I say regular ordered pair, let's say if this was just an example. This is 1, 2. That's just positive 1, positive 2 here. If I went in the second quadrant, it would be negative 1, 2. That's why it's negative, positive. So in the third quadrant, it's going to be negative, negative. Those are just the regular order pairs. In the fourth quadrant, it's going to be positive, negative. This is important because they're giving you some information. They're telling you that cosine theta is positive. That's what that means. It's greater than 0. So since cosine is positive and sine is negative, so I know it's going to be a positive, comma, negative. So right there, I know, without even doing any mathematics, that my angle measurement will be in this quadrant down here because it's a positive cosine and a negative sine. So I know here it says in which quadrant does the terminal side of theta lie? Well, I know it's going to lie in the fourth quadrant. And for your justification, just write that out, explaining it. You can explain it in words. You can draw a picture of it to justify your answer. It's really all you have to do for that one. I wouldn't think much more about it. Part B says, in which quadrant does the terminal side of T lie? Same idea. This time it says cosine is negative. And it says sine is greater than 0, so sine is positive. So we got a negative, comma, positive, so that one has to be, think about it, negative, positive, got to be in this quadrant up here. That's going to be quadrant 2. So A should have been quadrant 4, B should be quadrant 2. It says draw and label the reference triangles for both theta and T. Well, the way you draw a reference triangle, you draw it in the appropriate quadrant, whichever one where the solution is. We'll draw one of them. Let's do theta. I know that theta is in the second quadrant. So I'm going to draw myself a triangle down here. Something that looks like this. Hopefully yours is neater than mine. And your theta is going to go over here, always. Okay? So I know I got positive, negative, right? Well, I know I got sine of theta is negative 9 over 15. You remember what sine is? Remember SOHCAHTOA? Everybody remember SOHCAHTOA? SOHCAHTOA. It's just an acronym. It's just a way to remember sine is opposite over hypotenuse. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. Tangent is opposite over adjacent. You don't have to remember SOHCAHTOA. It's just an acronym. So here, since it's opposite over hypotenuse, my opposite is 9. So opposite theta is 9. My hypotenuse is 15. Bam, we're almost there. And you can complete the triangle. That's just a Pythagorean theorem. So we need to find that missing side. Well, what do? That's easy. We're just going to go 15 squared equals 9 squared plus who cares? Well, we care, but unknown squared. Bam. Solve that. X squared is equal to, you can subtract 15 squared minus 9 squared. And if you do the math, I did this earlier, I believe it was 144 equals x squared. So x is equal to 12 because I had to take the square root of both sides. So this is 12. Okay? And I know the 12 is going to be positive. The 9 here is going to be the negative because it's going down. That is what they're talking about when they say draw yourself a reference triangle. Okay, hopefully that helps. So you'll do the same thing for t, but you're going to do it in the second quadrant up here. All right, great. All right, for part D, there's a few ways to do this. What I would do, actually I didn't like how the answer key did it. I just would have done it a little simpler. All we got to do is figure out what those angle measurements are. The answer key actually used an identity to solve. They used the addition identity for a few of them, but you don't have to do all that. You can just find theta, find t, and then plug in the calculator. If I do that, because it's very easy to find theta. This one over here, sine theta equals negative 9 over 15. Well, the way you find theta, you're going to take the inverse sine of both sides. Hope you remember that. Sine inverse. So it's going to be theta is equal to, sorry for the sloppy, sine inverse of negative 9 over 15. Make sure you're in degree mode when you type this in your calculator. And I got negative 36 for an answer. So theta is equal to negative 36 point something. So we're going to make this negative 37. Okay. All right. So now I need to find t. Same thing for t. I'm going to do the inverse cosine. So I'm going to go cosine inverse of negative 5 over 13. Put that in your calculator. And I got, what did I get? I got 112.6. 112.6. Okay. And then from there, you're literally just going to plug it into these little deals down here. You're going to go cosine of, well, my theta is negative 37 plus 112.6. And then I'm going to plug in tangent of, let's see, what is t? T was just 112.6. We could make that 113 because it's either one's okay. And that's divided by 2. And sine, well, my t is, what's my t again? Let's make it 113 this time because they're not very close to each other. So 113 minus, actually it's going to be minus a negative because it's going to be minus a negative 37. That's it. And so now put these in your calculator and just order them from least to greatest. I think that's it. I'll let you finish. You just put that in your calculator and order them. I just want to give you an overview. Hopefully this helps. As you have questions, let me know.